Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser here today with Harlem Berry, the standout freshman running back from St. Martin's Episcopal, who's also picked up 7 college scholarship offers in basically the last month. And so getting off to an early start with the college decision process, or I guess information finding process. We got mom and dad hanging out with us too. So if Harlem's not talking a whole lot, we may ask them a couple questions about him, see if we can get them to jump in. But Harlem, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing good today. How about
Yeah,
you?
not too bad, man. I was just talking with mom. Other than the heat outside, it's a pretty good time of year. Uh, and you were out there in some of that heat last Friday at the LSU camp with colleges from all over the state. And so we'll start there with kind of the most recent stuff. Take me through the day. You're there as a freshman working with Frank Wilson, who's a running back coach and recruiting legend around the state and certainly in New Orleans. Nick Brossette, a former 1,000-yard rusher at LSU, and it looked like and sounded like you had a great day. And I know you picked up Louisiana Tech and Southern University offers. So kind of walk me through that. You get to campus and take me from there.
When I got to campus, they greeted me at the door. I signed in and stuff, and then I had got elected to be in the Tiger group. It was like all the prospects they were looking at and stuff. So they gave me my jersey. They put me with all the seniors. Surprisingly, I didn't expect that. So I was with most of all the seniors. I started stretching, and then I got ready to do the combine. I jumped for 38 inches, I think it was, and a broad jump of 8 inches. And in my 40, which was my better one, was 4.38, I want to say hand time, and then a 4 flat laser time. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say that was one of the first things I heard when I showed up was that you'd run a 4.38. Did you show up anticipating that you could have this type of a big day? Did you surprise yourself at all? When you said a couple of those numbers, you even smiled a little bit. Did you surprise yourself?
A couple of those numbers, I surprised, especially my 40, I surprised myself because I want to say 2 weeks before that, I ran at Florida and I had ran a 4.4 and a 4.5. So, I mean, I didn't expect that. Well, let me take that back. A 4.45 and a 4.44. So I didn't expect me to come out there Friday and run a 4.38.
What is the feeling like as a young guy right off the heels of freshman year to go to LSU, put up those kind of numbers, get put with the rising seniors? It had to be a really exciting, validating type experience. What were your emotions through some of that?
I was calm with it, just trying to get through everything. I worked for that type of moments like that. So it was nothing really like, well, it was special, but it was nothing really like special to me. Just got out there and worked my butt off. Showed everybody why I'm supposed to be on that top level with them.
Yeah, so the results of preparation for you, it sounds like.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Take me through the conversations with the college coaches, a couple new offers, and you can kind of, I guess, group some of it together. Just what are you hearing from the college coaches overall that so early on in your high school career, they're feeling like they know they need to make that move, and they're really excited about what they've seen from you so far?
Even though it's like my first year this year, they all think I'm gonna be like a really top back in the class of 2025, and they all put me on like a high pedestal and say I'm extremely well at what I do and my craft.
You burst onto the scene right out of the gates this past fall. Your stats were 7 games, over 2,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. So you're averaging almost 300 yards a game and over 4 touchdowns a game. Did that surprise you at all to come out like that and be a guy that we were looking at as a potential player of the week statewide, pretty much week in, week out?
Towards the end of the season, it was very shocking that I ran for 2K because at the beginning I didn't believe I could run for that much. Um, but after I realized, it was pretty shocking. So I was excited, but it's just working for the following year, get better, run for more actually next year.
What do you think enabled you to have that type of success at such an early age? And you know, you can take that however you will, whether it's talking about some of your behind the scenes work and preparation, or just some things you felt really confident in when you were out there on the field on a Friday night that just seemed to work really well for you. To have that kind of success, obviously a lot's going right. What do you feel like kind of came together to put you out there with that sort of a breakthrough season?
Well, coming into that season, I didn't really do a lot of hard preparation like I do now for football because beginning of that summer and stuff, I was playing basketball. So I wasn't no like really hard, intense training. I just went to practice and worked hard. And then once I got in that season and started running those type of numbers, then I realized I really could do something with this. So I started training and doing a lot with football. But I really should thank like my parents and my coaches for helping me get through all this.
Tell me some more about that. Just when you have I mentioned when you have that kind of success and have it at an early age, a lot goes into that work wise, but a lot goes into that support system wise. What were some of the things that your parents did to kind of help you prepare for high school and now already to be having conversations with colleges? What were some of the things that your high school coaches did to help that transition to this current level and help kind of enable you to be such a big piece of the team?
They pretty much just told me stay focused, don't let anything get to you, don't let any distractions get in your way. Because, well, of course, my parents saw that I have a bright future, so they just told me stay focused mentally and just get out of harm's way and be the best person you could be.
You head from football season into track and end up with multiple state championships to end this high school year. What does track season look like for you? We look so much at football and football gets all of that attention, but you had a heck of a year on the track. What does that look like a little bit more behind the scenes to enable you to run those sort of times in track and prepare for all these camps and everything?
Um, I like to say track really helped me with my 40, but this was my first year ever really running track. So my coach just pretty much told me just he already knew I had the speed, so he just told me run as fast as I can. He helped me with my technique coming out the blocks and stuff. But once I got the technique down, he knew that it was everything else from there. So
And right around the end of track season is when that first offer came. So we talked some about it more generally in terms of getting all those offers and the excitement to hear from college coaches. But the day that Grambling State offers in the middle of May, what was that day like in particular to have the first one come?
it was pretty exciting. I forgot I was coming home from somewhere and I was by my grandma and my 7-on-7 coach had called and told me because he wrote an article. He put an article out with me and another one of my teammates from 7-on-7, and the Grambling coach looked at it and asked him about the running back, and he told him and talked about me very well, and he offered me that day.
And then UTSA's a week later, Nebraska, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, and then the two most recent ones that we mentioned, Southern and Louisiana Tech. As they're coming in one after another, is that a little bit unreal to have not just an offer here, offer there, but to have it become a steady thing? What was that like to start hearing from coaches every few days? It feels like.
It was pretty exciting knowing that coaches are looking at me and seeing that I do have talent to play at the next level. But I mean, I love it and all, but I just try to stay focused and keep working so I get more and more so I can make it to the next level, which is the NFL.
Did you grow up really idolizing whether it be an NFL guy or a couple guys or college guys? Did you have running backs or football players at higher levels that you have as favorites or anything, or that now that you're trying to take pieces of and kind of model some parts of your game after?
I used to idolize a couple NFL players like Odell, Randy Moss, Marshawn Lynch, Barry Sanders. I used to try to idolize, and Leonard Fournette. I used to try to idolize them. Well, I didn't predict that I was going to be a running back going into high school, so I was really idolizing a lot of receivers. But then once I started playing running back, I started looking at a lot of running backs and idolizing them more.
It's working out pretty well so far, huh?
Yes, sir.
How was Barry Sanders in there for a guy as young as you that I only caught kind of the tail end of Barry Sanders' career? Where does that kind of recognition and admiration come from?
I just like the way he played. He was really like elusive and explosive with it. So I try to idolize myself over it because I'm not the biggest back. So I just try to make moves like he did and get in the open field like he was, which was
Did
he
you
was really.
did you stumble across him online? Was that like a dad hand me down? Did he show you some videos? Where was the first time you remember seeing Barry Sanders?
I don't. I think I've heard. I think I heard of him. I don't remember the exact first time of me hearing about Barry Sanders. I want to say probably my dad, but then I just started watching him more and more, and I started liking how he ran with the ball and how he played.
You mentioned the work, and particularly at one point you're expecting to play wide receiver, and so it's a little bit of a transition. What does this offseason look like in terms of things that you're working on as you try and continue to develop? What are some of the top priorities to take some of those next steps as you eye big things as a sophomore and beyond?
My big priority was ball security, because end of that season I did have more fumbles than I should have had. So it was really more of ball security and like patience instead of just running out the hole, just waiting until it really open up and then taking off. So those two were my biggest priorities working off in this off season.
And you've got such a long time to kind of work your way through some of this college stuff. Um, as you guys have conversations about these schools, have you started to talk about with your parents different factors that are important to you guys, to maybe ask certain questions from the college coaches or learn about the programs or universities? Or right now is it kind of just a matter of, it's great that they're all coming and start those relationships, and some of that more detailed conversation comes later?
I have looked at what colleges I would like to go to and what colleges that would benefit me and stuff that they do. But more or less, I just realized like just shocked with all of it. So I just been taking it all in.
Yeah, it's still so early, but it's really cool to see it starting to unfold for you. And when we talked about some of your players that you kind of idolize, you mentioned a couple New Orleans guys. I see you've got the World and Vision hat, a couple of New Orleans guys involved with that. So how much excitement and pride do you take in sort of representing the state and the city and all those things? Is that part of that hat, and talking about Leonard and Odell and stuff like that?
I take pride in New Orleans. You guys, anybody from New Orleans, they'll take pride being from down here. Um, I just love New Orleans. I would like to move and see the world because I mean I don't really go anywhere besides New Orleans, but I love New Orleans.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
No matter I was having a conversation with some like fellow writers last week who were messing with me because I haven't lived in New Orleans in over a decade, but my number will forever be 504. I will forever say New Orleans. I kind of joked with them being in Baton Rouge that I'm just on a really far suburb of New Orleans in my head sometimes, I feel like. So I get that, man. Well, Harlem, anything else that you want to share about yourself that, as fans and potentially some college coaches, get a chance to get to know who you are as a football player, but also as a young man, a complete student athlete? If someone's asking who's Harlem Berry, what do I need to know about that guy? What do you hope that they know and get to know about you?
That I'm very humble, really works hard, um, stays quiet, not really a loud person, and just there to be there and put the work in for you.
You did a good job with this interview, though, man. We were talking, Mom was talking. You're not a real chatty guy, but I think you did a great job.
So
Again, he's Harlem Berry, fantastic 2025 running back from St. Martin's Episcopal, has had those first 7 college scholarship offers come his way. The first 7 of what will likely be many more. And so we'll be keeping up with him for the next several years at this level and beyond. And for Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser.